Hey everyone, today we'll be going over how to create a GitHub repository, host on Netlify, and the basics of GitHub Desktop. Let's dive right in. First, go to github.com and log in with your GitHub or make a new account if you don't have one yet. Once you're ready to go, click on the green New button found on the top left. Note, only one person from each group should be going through the process of making a repository. Now, let's get into creating your first repository. First, in the name section, type in your name along with your partner's name and your period number as shown in the video. Make sure that your repo is public and select the Add README section. It is very important that you make a README in order to make the process easier and smoother. Then press Create Repository. Now you have created your first repository. Remember, a repository is a place for you to hold your code and then host it on the web. We'll go through that process now. From your file explorer, find all the different files that you have and drag them onto the GitHub tab to upload. Eventually, all of your files will download on GitHub. GitHub will not let you upload more than 100 files at one time. So if this cap is met, make sure to upload a few files at one time. After everything is set, scroll down and press Commit Changes. This process of committing may take a few minutes, so please be patient.
1 hour later.
Bruh.
Nice job. Now, all your code is in your repository and you can now host it on the internet via the cloud. In order to host, we'll be using an online web service called Netlify. In a new tab, log into netlify.com. Log in using your GitHub to access your portal. Although I have a few websites I'm hosting currently, your portal should be blank. Now, click Host New Site from Git. If Netlify asks you to authorize GitHub, please do so. When you reach this stage on the screen, press Configure Netlify with GitHub. Click on your profile and enable permissions. Now, find your repository from the list below or type in the name in the search like I did. Finally, press Deploy Site. Now, it's time to deploy your site to the web. Go to Domain Settings, go to Custom Domains, Options, Edit Site Name, and type in your name, along with your partner's name and period the same way you did for the repository. This unique URL will allow you to access your website on the web and can be found on any computer. At this point, your site has successfully deployed to the web. However, the situation may arise where you want to change something on your website. For instance, let's say I want to change this GIF or maybe some text. In that situation, we would need to use GitHub Desktop to push our changes to the internet. But before we go into that, let's quickly go over downloading GitHub Desktop. In the browser, type in GitHub Desktop Download. Click on the respective link and download the Windows 64-bit version. Once the application opens up, log in and finish setting up your desktop account. Alright, at this point, you've gotten your desktop app ready. Now, Your GitHub app may look different than mine, but the process of cloning a repository is still the same. Click on File at the top left corner, and then click on Clone Repository. Go to the repository on the browser version of GitHub and click on Code. Copy the HTTPS URL on the pop-up and go back to the application. Press the third URL option on the right and paste your repository URL. As of right now, you can ignore the file location. Finally, click Clone. It may take a bit of time to load as GitHub needs to process everything. Great! Now you can push or pull changes via the cloud. To access your code, click the Open with Sublime button. In case something other than Sublime comes up, like VS Code, you can go to Options, Integrations, and then select the editor of your choice. I prefer Sublime as it is easier to execute and it integrates well with Git. On the far left, you can see a file path which takes me to my different files. Here, you can access your CSS or JavaScript, but right now, all we're interested in is the HTML. Now, once I go to the respective file and change the code there, I am ready to push my changes onto the internet. In order to do this, go back to the GitHub Desktop. Here, you can clearly see the changes you've made on the screen. Now, on the bottom left, type in the date and time of your changes in the commit text box. This will make it easier to go back and see changes. Once you are ready, press Commit Changes. The final step for entering in your changes is to press Push Changes. This will send your changes to the GitHub repository server, and in turn, this will automatically update on your Netlify hosting page. Once you are done, refresh or reopen the page hosted on Netlify. And this time, you can see the different changes that we made. This webpage is now available on the cloud, and as demonstrated here, can be accessed via any computer connected to the internet. That's all for now, everyone. Happy programming.